Hello, my name is Robert Dean Steele, and this is your daily Bible class for real living. Today we're looking at James chapter 2, verses 12 and 13. James says, "Speak and act as those who are being judged by what the law says, that gives freedom. Because judgment without mercy will be shown to anyone who has not been merciful. Mercy triumphs over judgment." Now, James has been talking about favoritism and bias. And then he talks about the royal law of love. And that is, of course, to love your neighbor as you have learned to love yourself. And it all begins with a relationship with God. Through Jesus Christ, we have come into the perfect law of love. The Lord loves us unconditionally. He has given us all the benefits of eternal and abundant life, all with mercy and with grace. Now, James says this, "Speak and act as those who are going to be judged by the law that gives freedom." What law that is he talking about here? Well, we just talked about the royal law of love. You see, when you are living under grace, when you are living under mercy, then it is easy to speak both mercy and grace with love. And so here is James saying, walk and live as someone who is living under grace and mercy. Speak that way. He says, because judgment without mercy will be shown to anyone who has not been merciful. Jesus made it absolutely clear in the Sermon on the Mount that in the same manner in which you have been judged, or have judged, you yourself will be judged. God is looking at you right now through the eyes of love and favor, and He fully expects us to do the same. You see, when you walk with bias and with favoritism and with prejudice, what you're basically doing is you're looking at the individual and saying, you know what? You are not made in the image of God in the same way that I'm made in the image of God. It may be based upon social, economic, it might be based upon race, it might be based upon gender. And all of those things are your conceived ideas. But God, He is no respecter of person. He looks at all of us in the same manner. When Jesus Christ died on the cross, He died for all mankind, not for just the Jew or not just for those who would become Christian. He died that all men might be saved. Doesn't mean all men are going to be saved, all women are going to be saved, but the same opportunity is given to everyone. And we are to do the same. We're supposed to be speaking and acting and walking in love, not being in any way a respecter of persons. We're not to look at someone because of the fact that they have money or they don't have money. I remember when I was a young man, I lived in the generation where anyone who had short hair you didn't trust. And I remember that was part of the reason why God saved me, was the fact that He knew I needed this type of refinement, I might have put it that way. And so it was very interesting that when I was listening to a young man who was talking about Jesus Christ, he happened to have long hair and a beard, and I think, I can trust him. You know, if it would have been some guy with white walls around his ears, maybe I wouldn't have. But you see, I was speaking from my heart, which at the time was full of judgment, biased, and of course prejudice. But now, because of Jesus Christ, we need to look at all people in the same manner. Doesn't matter who they are. Doesn't matter where they came from. Doesn't matter what social, economic status they have. Doesn't matter what race, creed, or color they have. Everyone is made in the image of God. And He says this, if you do not show mercy, you yourself will not be shown mercy from God. And He says, mercy always triumphs over judgment. Judgment is going to come. But through Jesus Christ, that has been dealt with on the cross. In turn, you and I have received mercy. Mercy in its very simplest form is you have the power and the ability and the authority to judge someone, and you choose not to. That's a wonderful gift that God has given to us. We did not deserve to have salvation. There was absolutely nothing that we could have done to gain salvation. But God, in His mercy and His love, extended this wonderful gift to us. He changed us from the inside out, and slowly but surely, He is changing and reforming and transforming our lives. So today, do as James says, speak and act as those who are going to be judged by the law of freedom. Because judgment without mercy will be shown to anyone, because who has not been merciful. Mercy triumphs over judgment. Remember that today. God looks at you through the eyes of love and favor. He has extended that to you, and He in turn wants us to extend it to others. You kind of reap what you sow. My name is Robert Dean Steele. This is your daily Bible class for real living. You have yourself a great and godly day.